Paige is someone who has a love for FFA, agriculture, and education. However, she's much more than that. She's the person you go to when you need a friend, a listening ear, or just when you want to have a good time. She's the person who seeks out the lonely and is a friend to everyone. Don't be surprised if you find her with a mom van full of freshmen, with a fruit water in hand, doing what she does best, being a friend to others.
I have known Paige my entire life and watched her excel this year in many roles, not only in FFA, but also as a sister, student, friend, daughter, mentor, roommate, and my personal favorite, a cousin. Paige has an unmatched sense of humor, and her bubbly personality lights up every room. She never fails to make everyone around her feel loved, and I know we've all had our year made a little brighter by Paige Freston.
Introducing our best friend, your 2023 State Sentinel, Paige Freston!
That I'm always gonna lift you up, and I'm never gonna let you down. No matter what you do, I'm forever proud of you. I love you forever now.
My whole life, I felt like I was born at the wrong time. My big brother and I are only 13 months apart, which means that his friends were also my friends. Because we are only one grade apart, I felt myself feeling extremely lonely during my senior year. My big brother and all of our friends had graduated last year, and I was stuck in high school for one more year, forced to live my senior year without them. I had always had this group of friends to turn to and be with, but I didn't have that anymore. I did have one thing though. I had the FFA. I was serving on my chapter's officer team as the chapter president, and that was really the only thing keeping me going. As the year went on and we started to have FFA activities and events, I started to feel better about my circumstances. I created many unexpected friendships through FFA, and it is because of the members of my chapter and the love that they showed me that I was able to enjoy my senior year more than any other year of high school. Something that I have observed, mostly during my time in the FFA, is that there are three components to a happy life. One is to love yourself. Two is to love others regardless of differences you may have. And three, simply just to love life. One of my all-time favorite books is The Help. In the story, there is a 2-year-old little girl, May Mobley. May's nanny is teaching her how important she is to the world. They practice saying this phrase together. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. These positive affirmations she is giving herself helps her to see how unique and important she is to the world. When I first heard about positive affirmations, it wasn't too clear to me what they were either, so let's practice. Anyone out there wearing a blue corduroy jacket, please stand. All together, say this phrase with me 3 times. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. Thank you. Be seated. See, it's simple. It only takes a few seconds out of our day, but it will make an immense change in our lives. Loving ourselves helps us to love others more freely. And that brings us to our second point. Loving others can be hard. There may be people that we butt heads with and we can't seem to get along no matter how hard we try. It takes effort on our part to make sure that we are aware and compassionate to those around us. This effort might look like a compliment in the hall, and it might just be turning off your phone and engaging in friendly conversation. Get to know other people. Ask about them and their lives. You might be surprised by other people's stories and circumstances. Let me tell you a story about a 24-year-old boy that better emphasizes this point. A 24-year-old boy, seeing out from the train's window, shouted, "Look, the trees are going behind." Dad smiled, and a young couple sitting nearby looked at the 24-year-old's childish behavior with pity. Suddenly, he again exclaimed, "Dad, look, the clouds are running with us." The couple couldn't resist and said to the old man, "Why don't you take your son to a good doctor?" The old man smiled and said, "I did, and we are just coming from the hospital. My son was blind from birth, and he just got his eyes today." Every single person on the planet has a story. Don't judge people before you truly know them. The truth might surprise you. Every single person on the planet has a story, and we should not be so quick to judge. If we approach new friendships with an open mind, we might be surprised at the difference that it can make in our lives. This open-minded perspective will help us to love others more freely, helping us to love life. Now, the concept of loving life is the most important, but I think that it can be the hardest to spearhead. Life is unpredictable, and we can't plan what will happen to us. It is important to get in the mindset of resilience. I love this story about a donkey who fell down into a well. One day, a farmer's donkey fell down into a well. The animal cried loudly for hours while the farmer tried to find something to do to get him out. Finally, the farmer decided that the donkey was old and the well was dry and needed to be covered up anyway, that it really wasn't worth pulling the donkey out of the well. He grabbed a shovel and began to throw dirt down into the well. The animal realized what was happening and began to cry horribly loud. Then, after a few shovelfuls of dirt, the donkey quieted down. Finally, the farmer decided to look down into the well and was amazed at what he saw. With each shovelful of dirt, the donkey was doing something incredible. He was shaking off the dirt and stepping on top of it. Very soon, the farmer saw how the donkey reached the mouth of the well, went over the edge, and trotted out. Life is going to throw dirt your way and attempt to bury you. However, no one ever gets out of life's wells by giving up. Shake off the dirt and take a step up. Each of our problems is a step up. Use the land they throw you to get ahead. Despite everything working against him, the donkey didn't allow himself to be buried. He didn't feel sorry for himself, and he chose to shake off the dirt and take a step up. Developing this mindset is definitely easier said than done. Some dear friends of mine recently had a hard obstacle tossed in their path. They lost their home in a fire. Any of you who know the Carlsons know that they are the most service-oriented people. In fact, some of their children were and are in the FFA. They have served this organization diligently and have left a positive impact on myself and many others here. When they experienced the loss of their home, the Carlsons observed a few things. One was the service and love from others. They saw people seeing their needs and stepping up to help. Just 48 hours after the destruction of their home, there were lines of cars in their driveway, full of people ready and willing to help. When this family arrived at the house that would be their new home for the time being, they had hot meals, bags of clothes, and other necessities. The service they received from others didn't make the pain go away, and it didn't make the loss of all of their belongings any less devastating. But the service and love that they received helped them look at their circumstances with an attitude of gratitude. They were undoubtedly stressed and scared about what the future would hold for them, but they were thankful for the love and service that their family, friends, and community offered up. Be the good and look for the good. The love the Carlsons had for others helped those around them reach out with service and love when it mattered most. Although this huge obstacle was tossed in their path, they were able to shake off the dirt and take a step up. Hard things happen, really hard things. And it may be hard to find the light in the darkness. But if we take time each day to look for the good and see how we can use our circumstances to take a step up, we will grow that love for life. Encompassing all three of these loving aspects, loving ourselves, loving others, and loving life, will help us become the best leaders that we can be, both within and outside of this organization. Encompassing all three of these loving aspects will help us lead others with our light. Utah FFA, this is how you lead others with your light. This is how you show people through your light and leadership how much you love them. I have seen the love that you all harbor for one another. I have seen the love that you all have for life and for this organization. I am so proud and so thankful to be associated with each and every one of you through this blue corduroy jacket. Now go lead, go love, and go live.
Wherever life's road leads, you can get back to a love is strong and free.
Paige, although your phone wasn't always the one to take a .5, you always made us look at life through a wide lens. Your ability to make friends with everyone you meet is something we will always admire about you. Thank you for teaching us how to dance in the rain and make the most out of every moment. You've made sure we've lived our best lives this past year, drinking plenty amounts of water and always eating our leafy greens. Paige, thank you for teaching us how to live, laugh, and love life. We laughed until we had to cry. We loved right down to our last goodbye. Utah FFA, for your final time, your 2022-2023 State Sentinel, Paige Freston.